Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine. Continue the book of Isaiah. I finished chapter 10 and started the beginning of chapter 11. So I'm going to continue to read. If you recall, the chapter 11 said branch from Jesse. Jesse, this Jesse, I think it's probably I think it's David's father. So I'm going to continue to read. He will not judge by what he sees with his eyes, or decide by what he hears with his ears, but with righteousness he will judge the needy. With justice he will give decisions for the poor of the earth. He will strike the earth with the rod of his mouth. With the breath of his lips he will slay the wicked. Righteousness will be his belt, and faithfulness the sash around his waist. The wolf will live with the lamb, and the leopard will lie down with the goat. The calf and the lion and the yearling together, and a little child will lead them. The cow will feed with the bear, their young will lie down together, and the lion will eat straw like the ox. The infant will play near the hole of the cobra, and the young child put his hand into viper's nest. They will neither harm nor destroy on all my holy mountain, for the earth will be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. In that day the roof of the Jesse will stand as a banner of the peoples, and nations will rally to him, and his place of rest will be glorious. In that day the Lord will reach out his hand a second time to reclaim the remnant that is left of his people from Assyria, from Lower Egypt, from Upper Egypt, from Cush, from Elam, from Babylonia, from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. He will raise a banner for the nations and gather the exiles of Israel. He will assemble the scattered people of Judah from the four quarters of the earth. Ephraim's jealousy will vanish, and Judah's enemies will be cut off. Ephraim will not be jealous of Judah, nor Judah hostile toward Ephraim. They will swoop down on the slopes of Philistia to the west. Together they will plunder the people to the east, and will lay hands on Edom and Moab, and the Ammonites will be subject to them. The Lord will dry up the gulf of the Egyptian sea. With a scorching wind, he will sweep his hand over the Euphrates River. He will break it up into 7 streams, so that man can cross over in sandals. There will be a highway for the remnant of his people, that's left from Assyria, as there was for Israel when they came up from Egypt. Songs of Praise, chapter 12. In that day you will say, I praise you, O Lord, although you were angry with me, your anger has turned away, and you have comforted me. Surely, God is my salvation, I will trust and not be afraid. The Lord is my strength and my song, he has become my salvation. With joy you will draw water from the wells of salvation. In that day you will say, give thanks to the Lord, call on his name. Make known among the nations what he has done, and proclaim that his name is exalted. Sing to the Lord, for he has done glorious things. Let this be known to all the world. Shout aloud and sing for joy, people of Zion. For great is the Holy One of Israel among you. Prophecy against Babylon, chapter 13. An oracle concerning Babylon that Israel, the Isaiah son of Amoz saw. Raise a banner on a bare hilltop, shout to them, beckon to them to enter the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my holy ones, I have summoned my warriors to carry out my wrath, those who rejoice in my triumph. So I'm going to stop here of the reading and just go over again briefly. I think from my reading, you can sense the tone. It's not like previously the anger, the destroy. Now it's the faith and victory and the claim the power of God. So and talk because of the branch from Jesse. I do not know. We do not know when this was written, but if it talk about the branch from Jesse, probably referring to David, David established the kingdom and the country. Actually Saul, but David was the king of chosen, considered the great king of Israel, and so then his father's name is Jesse. So this is saying that the branch from Jesse, since then, and there's a glory there. I think that's the first, probably the remarkable milestone in the history of the people. So then, saying that he will not judge by what he sees with eyes and decide by what he hears with ears, but with the righteous he has judged the needy. So this is saying the God chose Jesse, and also the people believe the God. And the wolf, this is the ideal, the heaven life, a life of heaven. The wolf will live with the lamb, and leopard will lie down with the goat. And the calf and the lion and the yearling together. Little child will lead them. The cow will feed with the bear, and the young will lie down together. The lion will eat the straws like the ox. And the infant will play near the hole of the cobra and the viper's nest. So there's no harm, no destroy on the holy mountain of the God they believe. And for the earth will be full of knowledge of the Lord as the water covers the sea. So this is saying that after those gloomy days, or the distress or unhappiness, here is the after the remnant of Israel, a branch from Jesse, this is the joy, the world without any war, without any, so the lions can, and the lamb, they will live together. And he will raise a banner of the nations, gather exiles, and also Benjamin's, Ephraim's no jealousy, and Judah will not take Ephraim as enemy, and the Lord will dry up the Egyptian sea, and also people will be enjoy under the belief of God. And then chapter 12 is song of praise. So praise the God. This is why they praise the God. Praise God is his unfailed loving, even though he was angry, but eventually because he loves people, so he lifted up the mountain Zion and the Holy One of Israel, and the greatness. And also talk about the prophecy against Babylon. Start from chapter 13, the oracles. Raise a banner on a bare hilltop, shout to them and beckon to them. Enter the gates of nobles, and I have commanded my holy ones. And this is what Isaiah saw, the oracle regarding to the Babylon. So I'm going to stop here, continue next time. Thank you for watching.